Afternoon, calling this hopefully quick committee meeting to order of the Consumer Protection and Commerce Committee for our three bills today here at 2 p.m. in conference room 329. If you're here joining us for the first time, welcome. Just a few housekeeping measures. If you're on Zoom, as we don't have anyone here in person, if you're on Zoom, please make sure that your profile is named according to what you submitted your testimony under so that we can highlight you faster. You can keep yourself on mute until you are called and then unmute yourself. That would also be helpful to facilitating today's proceedings. And we do have a 2-minute time limit as we are on a deadline tonight to file these bills to keep them alive. So at 2 minutes, if you can start to summarize your testimony, that would be very helpful. With that, we'll move on to our first bill on our short agenda, SB 1105. And on SB 1105, we have Commissioner Ikeda with the Division of Financial Institutions, DCCA, in support.
Aloha. My name is Iris Ikeda. I'm the Commissioner for the Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs, Division of Financial Institutions. We are supportive of this administration bill, and we are asking for one amendment, which is to change the effective date to July 1, 2022. Mahalo.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Members, that's the extent of proffered testimony. Is there anyone else wishing to testify in SB 1105? Okay, seeing no further testifiers. Members, any questions on SB 1105? Okay, seeing no questions, then we'll move on to our next administration measure, SB 1211, and this is relating, I am so sorry, on SB 1105, just for the record, it's relating to Mortgage Loan Recovery Fund. And just again, for the record, this would make changes in recovery and restitution for those seeking recompense from this fund. On our next agenda item, SB 1211, relating to motor carriers, this would repeal the law relating to exemption for vehicles designated as vehicles used by farmers as set forth in HRS 286-208. On this administration bill and ask, we have our first testifier, the Hawaii Farm Bureau, in support. Not here. We also have late testimony from the Department of Transportation.
Chair Johansson, Vice Chair Kitagawa, and honorable members of the committee, the DOT is in support of the measure, and we would like to stand on our written testimony. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Patrick. That's the extent, members, of our proffered testimony on SB 1211. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on this measure? Okay, seeing no further testifiers, members, any questions? Okay, seeing no questions, then we'll move on to our last agenda item. SB 3373 relating to public procurement, and this clarifies the deadline for submitting written protests that are based on the content of a solicitation. On SB 3373, we have the State Procurement Office in support.
Good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee. Bonnie Kawakui, Acting Administrator for the State Procurement Office. We stand on our written testimony in support of this bill. We just wanted to clarify that we're not fundamentally changing the statute. There is only 2 points when they can protest, which is at the solicitation stage and at the award stage. So this amended language is not changing that, it's just removing some ambiguous language, known or should, the agreed persons known or should have known, to make it clear. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bonnie. We also have the Department of Accounting and General Services in opposition.
Yes, Chair, Vice Chair, and members, the department stands on its written testimony in strong opposition to this bill, and we have offered some comments that we think will make the bill stronger.
Thank you very much. We have, let's see. We also have, just in case, NAN Inc. in support. Not here. General Contractors Association of Hawaii in opposition, but not here. And the City and County of Honolulu in opposition, not here. Is there anyone else wishing to testify in SB 3373? Okay, seeing no further questions, seeing no further testifiers, members, any questions? Okay, seeing no questions, then we'll recess for decision making. Recess. Thank you very much, everyone. Reconvening our 2 p.m. agenda for decision making. Firstly, on SB 1105 SD2 relating to the mortgage loan recovery fund, the recommendation here, just so that the House has made one amendment and forces it to go to conference, is simply to change the effective date to January 1, 2050. That's it. So just with that simple amendment. Members, any comments or questions on the recommendation? Okay, seeing none, then Acting Vice Chair Tarnas for the vote.
Thank you. Chair recommendation is Senate Bill 1105 SD2 with amendments. Chair votes aye. Vice Chair Kitagawa is excused. Representative Aquino. Aye. Representative Har.
Aye.
Representative Hashem is excused. Representative Kong.
Aye.
Representative Mizuno is excused. Representative Morikawa.
Aye.
Representative Onishi.
Aye.
Representative Tarnas, aye, and Representative Matsumoto is excused. Your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you, members. Next on SB 1211 SD2 relating to motor carriers. Also, just so that the House has made a simple amendment here and it forces it into conference, I want to change the defective date to July 1, 2050. I also would like to note in the committee report that it's the committee's expectation that the Department of Transportation should work with farmers to ensure a successful transition and safe harbor during the interim while we figure out not only how to comply with how to ensure federal conformity, but so that our farmers aren't at risk of potentially driving around illegally, since we'd be changing the system. I'd like to make that very clear in the committee report so that DOT knows that they need to do that. Members, any comments or questions on the recommendation? Okay, seeing none, then Vice Chair for the vote, please.
Thank you. The chair's recommendation on Senate Bill 1211 SD2 is to pass with amendments. Chair Johansson votes aye. Vice Chair Kitagawa is excused. Representative Aquino. Aye. Representative Har.
Aye.
Representative Hashem.
Aye.
Representative Kong.
Aye.
Representative Mizuno is excused. Representative Morikawa.
Aye.
Representative Onishi.
Aye.
And Representative Tarnas votes aye. Representative Matsumoto. Thank you. Your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you, members. And lastly, on SB 3373, SD2 relating to public procurement. On this, I think it's an interesting discussion to continue to have as it relates to bid protests, which is a perennial issue for many a legislator, but also many in the community receiving certain services by government. So the recommendation here is to pass with amendments, including the state procurement officers amendments. And it's already got a defective date. And at the request of the GVR chair to keep this moving, we will recommend this pass with those amendments. Members, any comments or questions on the recommendation? Okay, seeing none, then Vice Chair for the vote.
Thank you. Chair's recommendation on Senate Bill 3373 SD2 is to pass with amendments. Chair votes aye. Vice Chair Kitagawa excused. Representative Aquino. Aye. Representative Har.
Aye.
Representative Hashem. Aye. Representative Kong. Aye. Representative Mizuno excused. Representative Morikawa.
Aye.
Representative Onishi.
Aye.
Representative Tarnas votes aye. Representative Matsumoto.
Aye.
Thank you. Your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you so much, members, and thank you for your indulgence today as we race toward tonight's deadline. Thank you so much. This meeting is adjourned.